Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here this morning. I don't have a very big role, but I have an important role because I get to do some introductions and I get to give you some very good information. So this morning I want to start by introducing someone who's going to tell you a little bit about why we're here today. It's kind of a little bit bittersweet for me because I'm going to introduce to you Dr. Demita Williams. Dr. Williams is the Chief Nursing Officer for Methodist Hospital, but was my partner in crime for a year and a half at the Children's Hospital. Really started and brought the Children's Hospital National Serial Drive here. And so I'm not going to steal any of her thunder, but I'm going to let her talk a little bit about why we're here. Nursing is at the heart of this serial drive, and we wanted to celebrate that. And we wanted Demita to come and just say a few words. So with that, I'll introduce Dr. Demita Williams.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's just so exciting to be here and be surrounded by all of these servings of cereal for the kids in San Antonio. I would ask, I was just talking to one of our friends from the food bank, if you just really stop and look at this display, but focus in on one box of cereal and think about what that box really means, that there's a child or a family that's going to be fed by that, and how many lives are going to be touched by this really act of love today. In 2014, the professional registered nurses across the Methodist health system, and specifically here today, the Methodist Children's Hospital, came together to join with other children's hospitals across the nation to partner to start to serve through the cereal drive, the annual cereal drive. And the nurses there, where this started in Michigan, started this under the banner of hunger doesn't take a summer vacation. And we think about that kids have lunch at school while they're in school, they have morning breakfast that's served, and they're taken care of. But in the summer, many times our parents are working and aren't able to always be there. There are children that are home, they're latchkey kids. And so this way they can have not only breakfast, but have a safe meal with something that they can do on their own. They can get cereal, they can get milk out of the refrigerator. They don't have to worry about setting the house on fire. So it's awesome that we're able to do this. From its inception in 2014, not only has nursing, but our colleagues across our hospital campuses, including our physicians, have come together to partner with us on this venture. Our mission at Methodist is to serve humanity, to honor God by providing exceptional and cost-effective health care accessible to all. And I believe that we fulfilled that vision and that mission and calling today through this display. Our staff has made a commitment to assuring that the food bank will have cereal for the kids every summer when the needs are greater because school is not in. As is often the case when you come together to do good, you end up being the one that gets blessed, and you meet amazing people along the way. We met such a person and now consider to have a friend in the San Antonio Food Bank, specifically Michael Guerra. He's the Chief Development Officer for the San Antonio Food Bank, and he's one of those friends that we met along the way. So I'd like to ask Michael to come right now and just share a few words with you.
Nice to be amongst friends. It's my third year in a row to get to do this, and if you all have seen me up here a few times, you know it's easy for me to get the tears because it's so moving. 4 years ago, when the highest time of our need in the summer came around, we set what we thought was a crazy goal to provide an extra 1 million meals for kids in the summer. 200,000 kids just in San Antonio alone will struggle with hunger this summer, exactly as Dr. Williams referenced, because they're not there in that schoolroom to get that breakfast and lunch that they would have because they were eligible because they lived in a low-income household. It's about 20 million meals if you take the 10 weeks of summer times 2 meals a day times 200,000 kids, so that's the gap, 20 million. This year, as summer rolled around, we said, you know what, we've been doing pretty good the last few summers with great partners like you all. Let's set that goal to be 9 million extra summer meals. And we got to 8.3 last year. And so you all have kickstarted us with one of the most important things in any kid's breakfast repertoire, and that is cereal. In fact, you're going to love this part of this. 2 years ago, I said, now I need to go after the Dairy Council. Remember that? Right? Okay, I want you to watch over the next couple of months. We landed the coolest deal ever. This whole Million Summer Meals and kids and the need has really taken off. Dairy Council said, we want to give you some money to put together an ad about milk, because we know that you're going to get cereal, but you don't have milk. We're going to give you 25 grand to place some ads around the community for milk in the summer, but you need to figure out the ad. You need to figure out the commercial. Well, we're blessed to have lots of amazing relationships in the community, and the man who doesn't have to be working right now, Coach Greg Popovich, said, I'll help you with that milk drive. So look over the summer and be super proud that your cereal will pair up with a commercial that Coach Pop is going to do to ask people to support us in that summer need, particularly with milk, right? So thank you all for that, number one. Let's have a big hand for that. I know we have a future part of this that's going to honor our new namesake in Rowan Windham. And I've been so blessed to tell his story the last 3 years, but particularly the last 5 months, as I help people raise their awareness about hunger, but dang it, raise their awareness that anybody can do this. I learned so much in my short time with Rowan about what it means to be your best when you give and when you serve. My phone rang in January, and honestly, Dr. Williams, it might have been you calling, but I don't remember because of the next part of the news. My phone rang and the caller ID said that it was the Children's Hospital. And I thought, oh good, they're going to call about the drive in June. And it was a call with the news of the renaming of this to memorialize Rowan. And Chloe will tell you, Chloe Palacios on my team is here, and she's the one who makes all this happen on my team, that it was pretty tough for me for a number of weeks to keep it together as I told that story to our staff and friends. But we've been emboldened by the Spirit, as you all have, I know. I guess I can announce this. Can I announce the totals that are here? Y'all might know this. Is that fair to do? Yeah. So Captain Cereal, you okay with you, right? Yeah, right. So 119,000 servings. So, congratulations to you all. The inspiration of that young guy who is still with us so much. Never forget it, never forget him, but never forget you all for not letting that part just stay somewhere else. That you are keeping that alive to continue to give and nourish kids, because at the end of the day, that's what it was about for Rowan. That's what it's about for us. You do it in your day in and day out work as professionals. And I hope you get all the thanks for that. You probably don't, but God bless you for that day in and day out service. As nursing professionals, as practitioners that all of you do, whether you're in administration or across the board. No greater gift to the community than to help them, those families and those kids in their time of urgent need. You're helping us to stabilize families when they're back home and to convene them around the breakfast table with cereal. Right? And to convene them with cereal is such a great gift because so many things happen when people eat together at the home. Right? They're not out for fast food, they're not out for other things. They're going to convene themselves together around the kitchen table. It's our great, great honor and pleasure and privilege to receive this food on the behalf of so many kids. And I want to just duck and let your blessing go right over me and right to them, right? And I know this cereal will too. Please be proud all summer, and we are very grateful. God bless you. Thank you. Now, I'm going to come up in a minute and interrupt you. So.
Very good. So thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. So now I want to do another introduction. As you can see, we have, as Michael mentioned, you know, Rowan had such a big impact on really all of us across the entire hospital. He touched people all over across San Antonio, and as you're here, he actually touched people across the United States. So I want to bring up Ms. Carrie Windham to tell a little bit of his story and talk just a little bit about him and his legacy. So, welcome.
First of all, I just want to thank you guys for the tremendous honor of renaming this cereal drive after Rowan. You guys all know he spent his whole 10 years in and out of this place almost monthly. I think over 1,500 days of his life were spent in this hospital, and you guys became extended family to him. You also know he was never down, never complained, never upset about anything that he had to go through. I still remember the first year when I had taken a picture of your display downstairs and said, "Rowan, look, they're collecting cereal." And he said, "Tell friends that are coming to visit me to bring me cereal, no more prizes. I don't need any more toys." And we were in the smallest room in this hospital, up on the surgical floor. But we filled the closet, and then we filled the walls, and then we stacked it, and we had to start taking it out by the dolly full. And he raised that year in his hospital bed, where he'd been for weeks, he raised over like 4,700 boxes or servings of cereal that year alone. The next year, he was like, "Are we still gonna do that?" And he goes, "Wait, I might not get sympathy cereal. I'm not in the hospital." But he still overshot his goal, and he was able to bring in like 5,300 the next year. One of his sayings, I have t-shirts made of it, is "If you can't see the good, make the good." And he lived by that. You know, whenever something was wrong, he just tried to find a way to give to somebody else. And you all made some good here today. We collected in his memory ourselves, and we were able to bring in 6,200, so we still beat his year too. I just want to thank you, because you guys, you've saved him many, 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 many times. If the only thing that, you know, of course I wish he was here to see this, but I know that he is looking down. I know that he is happy in heaven. I am not sad for him. I'm just sad for those of us that miss him. But thank you guys, and I can't wait to see you next year.
All right, so as Michael said, we were fortunate enough today to collect 119,357 servings for the kids of San Antonio. I know, it's incredible. Last year, when I announced that we wanted to raise 75 or 100,000 servings this year, I almost got things thrown at me. And they told me today if I raise the stakes that they probably will throw things at me. So just fair warning, don't stand near me in about the next 2 minutes or so, right? Because, yeah, it's going up again. But before we do that, I wanted to do a little bit of recognition for the folks. So as Demita said, you know, the nursing is at the heart of what we did, and you kind of mentioned that. We have done a little friendly competition across the hospital for the different units and kind of see who could raise the most servings out of all of the different units. And we actually created a plaque in 2015 to say who. And so, you know, PICU has been on the top of the list for the last 2 years. And when we started doing our senior leader rounding, once we started talking about this, they were pretty cocky, you know, about the fact that they were going to win, which is never good, right? Because that puts a huge target on your back. And everybody said, okay, well, we're going to knock them off. And I will tell you, it was very close this year. However, the PICU did not come in first time this time. I know, we were all a little sad when that happened. However, I am very pleased to announce that Advanced Clinicals from the hospital had the most. So, just to give you a little bit of insight into kind of the numbers here. So the PICU alone brought in 14,273 servings, which is just an incredible number. So Advanced Clinicals brought in 18,731 servings. So who's here for Advanced Clinicals? Who's going to come up and, oh yeah, come on up. So we'll go ahead, and we'll give you the plaque on behalf of Advanced Clinicals and say thank you so much for that. Now, you have a huge target on your back, because next year, everybody's going to be coming for you.
can I say one thing?
Yes, please, absolutely.
I just want to recognize as well that we did team up with our ITNS team of Methodist Health Systems. They really helped support us and backed us in all of this, and we came together really as a group. This was a group effort, and I want to just thank everybody for their generosity.
Thank you. We have to carve your name in it still. We'll do that. But we do want to recognize, so across the entire healthcare system, we did have other hospitals within the Methodist healthcare system that donated to us as well. And as I was talking to Carrie this morning, so we've got donations sent in from as far away as Seattle Children's Hospital and Ohio. I know, it's great. I mean, it's just, like I said, Rowan had a national reach, so it doesn't surprise me in the least that we got those. And so with that, I do want to do just two more recognitions. So there are two folks that were integral to the success of getting all of this done. So I want to invite Stacy and Veronica up, please. So Stacy Cedillo and Veronica Goulet, so they have been really the backbone of this entire thing, kind of really rallying the troops, cheering everybody on, making sure that everybody knew exactly what needed to happen, and started early this year because, as you can see, we had quite a bit of stuff going on in the Children's Hospital this year. So still to have the ability to finish this beautiful new facility, to start getting all of the moves ready, and still to pull this off with well over our goal of 100,000 servings this year, we couldn't have done it without them. So thank you both so much for your help. Good job. All right, yes, we can go back. So now the moment you've all been waiting for, right? So what is the goal for next year? And so I was talking to Carrie about it, and the number in my mind was 125,000 servings. That was the number that was in my mind, but we did 119. So guess what the number is going to be? 150. Yes, we will have 150,000 servings next year. So this is a huge challenge. This is a huge challenge for us. And so I think that we'll get bigger and better next year. We'll have the ability to do it. I think one of the things that we'll start sharing with you next year so this is a national cereal drives by children's hospitals across the country. If you can see what some of them do, on the order of about 750,000 servings for the local community. Of course, they live in the backyard of Kellogg, so that probably helps, right? But it doesn't matter, doesn't matter. I think that we can have a huge impact for the kids of San Antonio and across the nation. So I challenge all of us to get to 150,000 servings next year. And I want to thank everybody for coming today. And, oh, that's right. Michael, did you say that you had one more thing that you needed to do?
I was going to, so two things. One, Carrie and Ian, we have something for you that some of the team signed. We just want to leave with you kind of in continued memory of Rowan. Big thank you from the food bank. So I want to pass that to you all and say a huge thank you very, very much. And you know how synergy works, right? So you all know some of the logo for Rowan and the sun. When we redid our Million Summer Meals logo this summer, it almost is identical, right? So look at that sun. So the sun is shining in all sorts of places because of Rowan. And with the challenge that you just put forward, we're going to have to bring a semi-18-wheeler in next year. So we're ready for that. So.
So the last thing that we'd like to leave you with, so we have a very special video that we'd like to share about Rowan, just to let you know the impact that he had on the staff here and on everybody, really. So with that, can we go ahead and start the video, please? If you can't see the screen, please get to where you can.
Compassion is the wish to see others free from suffering. I know that is exactly how Rowan lived his life. He was one of the most compassionate and loving people I have ever met. He always gave selflessly and never expected anything in return. I was so blessed to have known and taken care of this amazing child for over 7 years. I knew there was something special and different about him from the very first time I met him. I could never put my finger on what exactly it was that made him so different from the many other children I had taken care of as a PICU nurse. There was such an innocence about him, almost angelic in a way. I finally found my answer at his funeral, as one of the speakers said it perfectly. When you were in the presence of Rowan, you felt like you were in the presence of God. I remember sitting there thinking, that is it. That is the best way to describe the feeling many felt in the presence of this amazing child. Rowan is the perfect definition of compassion. He was not only compassionate to his family, to those he knew closely, but with everyone he came into contact with. I feel compassion is a spiritual quality that is used to connect us with others. We all need to give and receive compassion at times in our lives, and he always gave it freely, without judgment and expecting nothing back, except for maybe a hug. He gave the best hugs. One of the first compassionate events I witnessed was when he was about 4 years old and was playing while Mom and I talked. All of a sudden, he stopped what he was doing. He quietly clasped his hands together, closed his eyes, and bowed his head. I looked at Mom a little confused, and she smiled and looked outside the window. About that time, the Methodist Children's Hospital helicopter was landing on the roof. She said every time the helicopter's flying her out, he does this. He says a silent prayer for the safety of the pilot, nurses, patients, and their families. I remember standing there awestruck that I just witnessed a 4-year-old go from playing to saying a silent prayer for people he didn't even know. My personal favorite memory was on January 1st, 2016. He and Mom were full of excitement because the plan was to discharge them home that morning. Mom went to the car, so Rowan and I chatted to pass the time. I asked him if he had ever thought about what he wanted to be when he grew up. He thought about it for a minute and said, I want to be a chef because I love to cook, but I also want to be a doctor so I can help sick kids like me. Oh, and a superhero because they are just cool and save people. His mom returned and I got busy on the discharge paperwork. I heard them talking in his room and his mom told me she had asked Rowan if he wanted to take a Happy New Year picture with me before they left, which Rowan then chimed in with, of course, she's part of our family. I still tear up and smile whenever I think about how special that day was, which ended up being the last time I would ever take care of my sweet boy. I hope this small glimpse of this amazing child inspires you to be compassionate to others and to love your life as Rowan did. He always showed others compassion, despite all they went through in his short 10 years. This beautiful child has made such a huge impact in this world. I miss and think about him daily, but mostly I feel so blessed to have been his nurse, friend, and part of his family.
So right about now, you want to kiss everybody and hug everybody next to you, right? So that's okay. You can do that. We love Rowan. We love Rowan. And we're glad we could share that glimpse with you. Thank you all so much for coming here today. We appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Captain Sir.